Hey, I'm Michael Bay, and I am a strong believer in protecting the cinema experience.
Few franchises in Hollywood history are as inseparable from their creator as Transformers is from Michael Bay. For better or worse, Bay's vision is stamped onto every aspect of these films, from their breathtaking action sequences to their chaotic storytelling. Without Bay, the franchise as we know it would never have reached its cultural or financial zenith. His unique brand of bayhem, characterized by explosive action, hyper-stylized visuals and frenetic pacing, then Transformers into one of the most profitable and globally recognized franchises of the 21st century. Love him or hate him, Bay's vision didn't just redefine the franchise, it is the franchise. However, the post-Bay era of Transformers films tells a different story. Projects like Bumblebee, Transformers Rise of the Beast, and Transformers 1 have received a more lukewarm reception. These films may have shifted gears, but in doing so, they've left behind the very element that made Bay's Transformers films exhilarating cinematic experiences. When Michael Bay took on the task of adapting the beloved 1980s toy and cartoon series in 2007, he didn't merely bring the Autobots and Decepticons to life, he reinvented them. Gone were the simple, colorful designs of the animated series. In their place, Bay delivered sleek, hyper-detailed and gritty depictions of alien robots, blending CGI wizardry with his trademark maximalist approach. Cities crumbled, Autobots soared, and battles unfolded with a visual intensity that left audiences breathless. His hyper-detailed CGI, chaotic editing, and pulsating action sequences created what critics and fans now call bayhem. The results? From 2007 to 2017, the 5 films he directed grossed over $4.8 billion worldwide. Audiences didn't flock to these films for intricate plotting or nuanced character arcs. They came for the visceral thrill of robots tearing through cities in battles that felt both epic and intimate. They came for the frenetic editing and testosterone-fueled energy that defined his filmmaking. Each explosion and high-speed chase weren't just part of the plot, they were the plot. Bay's stylistic excess became the defining feature of the franchise, turning it into a global phenomenon. His obsession with explosive set pieces and his collaboration with the US military added a layer of realism to the spectacle, making the Transformers series uniquely his. The film's humor and dramatic choices can veer into the absurd, but this too is part of the charm, or the critique of Bay's style. Love it or hate it, the franchise wouldn't be the same without it. Following The Last Night, Bay stepped down as director and the franchise entered a new chapter. While films like Bumblebee and Transformers Rise of the Beast were praised for their character-driven narratives and lighter tones, they lacked the raw energy and audience's spectacle that defined Bay's era. One glaring criticism has been the aesthetic of these new entries. The character designs, particularly in Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, have been described as cartoonish and overly clean, closer to their 1980s animated robots, but far removed from the gritty realism Bay brought to the table. The action too feels restrained. Where Bay's battles felt like cataclysmic events, these newer films often come across as muted, trading high-octane chaos for more grounded and predictable sequences. Even financially, the post-Bay films have struggled to match the franchise's former glory. Bumblebee, while critically acclaimed, earned $468 million globally, a significant drop from the billion-dollar heights of the Bay's later entries. Rise of the Beast fared slightly better, earning $439 million, but still falling short of expectations. It's very clear that audiences seem to be missing the one element these films lack: Michael Bay. Michael Bay didn't just direct the Transformers movies, he brought them to life with his singular vision. His films were orgasmic sensory overloads in the best way, filled with kinetic energy, larger-than-life characters, and a relentless commitment to entertainment. Without Bay, the franchise has felt rudderless, unsure of whether to embrace its bombastic roots or pivot towards a more traditional blockbuster formula. Bay's influence isn't just about explosions and CGI, it's about the way he captured the scale of the Transformers universe, making the Autobots and Decepticons feel like living, breathing entities. His films were unapologetically fun, leaning into their absurdity while delivering jaw-dropping spectacle. They weren't perfect, but they didn't need to be. They were pure, unfiltered entertainment. The Transformers franchise without Michael Bay is like Optimus Prime without his spark. It may function, but it lacks the essence that makes it truly alive. While the post-Bay era has tried to reimagine the series, it has yet to recapture the exhilarating chaos and larger-than-life energy that defined Bay's films. For all their flaws, his Transformers movies were events, bombastic,
orgasmic,
divisive, and unforgettable, and that's what made them special. Michael Bay isn't just the man behind the Transformers franchise, he is the Transformers franchise. That's just my opinion anyways.